Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely huge news. I'm abiding by YouTube policies. I am simply reporting and actually reading what Blake Masters has written, okay? This is Blake Masters. He is refusing. He's declined to concede. The Hill. Masters declines to concede in Arizona Senate contest until all votes are counted. That's the Hill. But if you look at Blake Masters and his Twitter profile, I don't have a profile on Twitter. I haven't since like 2018. So if you see anyone impersonating me, definitely tell Elon Musk, because it's a big problem on Twitter. A lot of celebrities have found out the hard way. But here, Blake Masters on Twitter, his profile, for my people who knocked doors in 115-degree heat, and for the million plus Arizonans who put their faith in me, we are going to make sure that every legal vote is counted. If at the end Senator Kelly has more of them than I do, then I will congratulate him on a hard-fought victory. But voters decide, not the media. Let's count the votes. So that's really interesting because, of course, the contest has been called, as always. It's just the media's, I can't wait to call it. And it's always, they'll wait forever. They still haven't called the House, even though the contests, like in 2018, they called the House without, like, just looking at just projections, okay? Like projections of, and then they said, okay, here, just based on the projections. Based on the projections now, Kevin McCarthy declared victory like the evening of November 8th, based on the projections. But of course, media would not do that. So there's a vote, there's a seat total that's stuck at, 211 or 212. Now, we'll get to 218. We'll get to 218 in the House. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, right now. We're on our way to 201,000 subscribers. Each and every one of you. People, if you've been here since 2016, during my Bernie Sanders days, and you stuck with me, supporting Donald Trump, who got us out of America's longest-running counterinsurgency conflict with the Doha Agreement that Biden completely botched, because it was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. But we had record low poverty under Trump in 2019. He was a fantastic president. Abraham Accords. He was a fantastic president in terms of the economy and foreign policy. If you stuck by me from the Bernie Sanders days when he was cheated by the Democratic Party to Donald Trump in 2020 and now, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And, I love everyone who watches this channel. I can't thank you enough. And happy Veterans Day, by the way. Have a safe and wonderful Veterans Day. And God bless all the veterans who watch this channel and who protected this country. This country owes you a debt of gratitude it can never repay. But ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe. I'm going to read you again, Blake Masters. For my people who knock doors in 150-degree heat, and for the million plus Arizonans who put their faith in me, we are going to make sure that every legal vote is counted. If at the end, Senator Kelly has more of them than I do, then I will congratulate him on a hard-fought victory. But voters decide, not the media. Let's count the votes. So, it's like, it's interesting. It's Democrats who have denied results for years. What they deny, they say that Trump stole it from them in 2016. They said Bush stole it from them, which was probably true in 2000. But they say that Trump worked with the Kremlin. And then they get intelligence operatives. Then they say it's apolitical, but it's completely political. Then they have never Trump Republicans continue to foster the same myth and hoax, like Richard Burr in the Senate. Then they wonder, gee, well, how come Trump lost in the Georgia Senate contests and in Arizona? Like, no, you investigated a Republican president based on lies, based on denying that he had defeated Clinton in a fair and an appropriate manner. You stated that the Kremlin boosted Trump. You stated that his campaign worked with foreign operatives. Nobody was ever indicted. The Mueller probe was a complete and utter failure. And it wasn't, oh, well, the Mueller probe found that there were contacts and that there was an influence campaign. No, that wasn't what the Mueller probe was about. It was to get Trump, it was to get him indicted and send him to prison for treasonous behavior, Trump. You couldn't find it. These people are the greatest deniers of all time, and they use this euphemism. Okay, when they talk about the election and then they use the word denial right after, they are referring to deniers of, they're essentially referring to deniers of genocide, specifically, I can't use the word, but of the 1940s, late 1930s and 1940s. Okay, I can't use the word. Okay, where millions upon millions of people of my faith, okay, and millions of people throughout Europe, okay, were slaughtered. Okay, I have to be like, you have to speak in roundabout terms on this platform, but so they're making it's a euphemism that is linked directly to the emotions of denying other historical events. These people are despicable. They are the greatest deniers. They create then euphemisms and they distance themselves from all the denial of the past 6 years. They never thought Trump was a legitimate president. In fact, Stacey Abrams never even truly accepted Kemp's defeat of her in 2018. I mean, then the Washington Post says, well, that's not true because, she did concede. Well, so did Trump. Do you see him living in the Oval Office or the White House? He's not there. And that's the same type of concession that Stacey Abrams made. Yes, at a certain point, people do leave the White House or they do accept that Kemp is the governor, but they still think that Kemp took it from them unlawfully or immorally or unethically, and that's what Trump feels also. But you have to understand the way Democrats work. The greatest deniers of all time, then you have these like mindless drones, these like clapping seals, these basically programmed artificial intelligence robots like, oh, well, Blake Masters lost because he's a denier. That's all you did with Trump. Are you kidding me? You thought that Trump was a legit... They even had a PSA commercial with Hollywood celebrities begging the Electoral College not to allow Trump into the Oval Office. That's according to Business Insider. There are literally thousands upon thousands of articles in the Washington Post, the New York Times, Daily Beast, BuzzFeed. Oh, they published the Steele dossier. That was a form of denial also. It was trying to tarnish his victory. He was in a Moscow hotel room. Oh, well, you know what? Something went on. They never accepted him. I mean, like the New Yorker, the Atlantic, Mother Jones. Okay, all of these people fabricated the myth that Trump did not, in a fair and square and ethical manner, defeat Clinton. And then they say that Trump is denying. They and Trump, what he's suspicious, just like they were suspicious of him. But he cannot, don't you understand? You cannot be suspicious of Democrats. You cannot be suspicious of Democrats. Then you're denying. But if you're suspicious of Trump and how he defeated Clinton, you're not denying at all. If Stacey Abrams is suspicious and distrustful of how Kemp defeated her, she's not denying. And the Washington Times and the Washington Examiner have great articles on Stacey Abrams denying in the same manner. And so these are euphemisms, interference. These are words that mean something different from what their actual definition is supposed to mean. And Democrats utilize that all the time. Then they use the nationalism, and you could put a different word. You could put Christian or another word, and then they live in their own lexicon, their own vocabulary, their own Rosetta Stone of twisted, morally superior, fabricated, and deceitful words and semantics and phrases and euphemisms. George Orwell called euphemisms verbal refuse. And that's what Democrats wallow in all the time, verbal refuse. And they sling it as 8.5% real wages go down. And then they still vote for a deceased person in Pennsylvania. Give me your thoughts. And it's interesting. Do people in Pennsylvania not care about fracking or fossil fuels? It's like a big part of their economy. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Huge news from